Yeah, very good. The teacher's explanation was confusing. Most of the students didn't understand it. Okay, very good. Thank you, Karina. Mm, Kevin, do you have number three?
Yes, the kitchen hadn't been cleaned for ages. It was really disgusting.
Yeah, perfect. Disgusting. Really good. Uh, Martin Eduardo, do you have number four?
Yes, teacher. I seldom visit art galleries. I'm not particularly interested in art.
Interesting.
Interested. Sorry.
Interested?
Interested.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Ulises, do you have number five?
There's no need to get annoyed just because I'm few minutes late.
Yeah, perfect. Very good. Arturo, do you have number six? All right, I think he is not here. So, Carlos Alberto, do you have number six?
¿Quién,
Yeah,
profe?
Carlos Alberto.
Mm.
Yeah. In number six, I got I after just a few minutes of talking to James, I got bored. He's a very boring person. He only talks about himself.
Yeah, very good. Board, the first one, boring the second one. Perfect. All right, I will answer it in the following ones, so it's more faster. Okay, so we have. I've been working. If you have any questions, please let me know. I've been working very hard all day, and now I'm exhausted. Number eight, I'm starting a new job next week. I'm very excited about it. And number nine, Steve is very good at telling funny stories. He can be very amusing. Number 10, Elise is a very interesting person. She knows a lot, she's traveled a lot, and she's done a lots of different things. Okay? Any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No? Okay, perfect. Then in exercise B, we have tell if the sentence is correct or incorrect with a C or an E. Well, I, sorry. Correct the incorrect ones, okay? Number one, the teacher gave a quiz on the just completing lesson, okay? This one is incorrect. And all you had to, change was completing for completed. Then number two, there is a fascinating movie at the theater tonight, and that one is correct. And number three, they thought that it had been a very satisfied dinner. Okay, that one is incorrect, and you have to change satisfied for satisfying. Okay. Number four, the students thought it was an interesting assignment. That one is correct. Let me see how. Okay, we have enough time. Then we have number five. The choppers were impressed by the reducing prices. Okay, that one is incorrect, and you have to change reducing for reduced. Okay, number six is incorrect. He can afford to take long vacations because he's a worked man. Okay, in this case, workman, it will be like, well, it doesn't give the sense of this person working. Okay, so in this case, change worked for working. Like this person is doing the working. Number seven, we have, I, okay, mm, sorry. Number seven, we have safety glass, a toughness glass sheet is 6 times stronger than untreated glass. Okay, in this case, untreated glass, we know that the glass is about the the glass is not untreating anything. So it is incorrect, and you have to change untreated, well, untreating for untreated, untreated. Sorry. Number eight, we have the incubation period of tetanus is usually 5 to 10 days, and the most frequently occurred symptoms is jaw stiffness. Okay, occurred. In this case, we need something that is occurring in the well, in this case, the symptoms are actually occurring. So we need the ing form. So that one is incorrect, and you have to change occurred for occurring. Number nine, we have I recently received several annoying phone calls from the insurance agent. That one is correct. And finally, number 10, today the bookkeeper is working on the unpaying bills. The bills are not unpaying anything, so that one is incorrect. And we have to change it to unpaid. Okay? Any questions so far?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Then we will continue. But before that, because as usual, the call is about to expire, I will ask you to, well, to rejoin to the call after I end the call right now. Tries to address this well, this particular issue. Okay, write the correct ed or ing word. Look at the example below. Okay, in the example we have, evolution itself is a biological phenomenon common to all living beings. Okay, even though it has led to their differences. Okay, we have a living and lived. Okay, in this sentence, things refer to creatures. The creatures do the action of living. And how do you know that? Because the creatures live. It's a sensical sense, therefore it must be ing. By sensical, it makes. I'm saying that it makes sense. Okay. Then in number two, we have well, the blank space. Robots operate in a controlled environment where they do simple monotonous tasks. Okay, and we have well, pre-programming or pre-programmed. Okay, uh, and we will say it like we can change the sentence to test the ing form to say robots program something. Does that make any sense to you? Well, since it doesn't make any sense that the robots are doing the programming, we can assume that this one is incorrect. So we need the ED form. Pre-programmed robots operate in a controlled environment. All right. Then in number three, we have sexual reproduction enables a species to adjust to ever, and then we have the blank space. We have changing and change conditions through history. Okay, and we can test it again. Uh, conditions change. That makes sense. So in this case, we need the ing form because this one it makes sense. So it is correct. So we will put in number 3 changing. In number 4 we have robots are mechanical bots controlled by humans, and we have a teleoperating and teleoperated. Okay. All right. Did you search for the meaning of the prefix tele? Any? No? Okay. This prefix is referring usually to, well, usually about uh, covering distances, like they are not operated right there. So, well, we have robots teleoperate something. So that doesn't make, again, much sense. So we will require the ED form. In number 5, we have examples of teleoperated robots are hu human controlling submarines or human controlled submarines used to fix underwater pipe leaks during the BP oil spill. Okay, in this case, we can again try this sentence, well, do this sentence, and said something like the submarines human control. That doesn't make any sense because the submarines don't do any type of control or controlling. So we will require the ED form, human controlled. Then in number 6 we have because life comes only from a blank space. It can be pre-existing or pre-existed life. It is only through reproduction that successive generations can carry on the properties of species. Okay, in this case, we can try life pre-exist, and that actually makes sense. So in this case, we will use the ing form. I'm sorry, I think in number, okay. Then in uh, number 7, we have in the book of Genesis, there are reference to the cuddle, beast, fowl, creeping or creeped things, trees, and so on. Okay, uh, things creep. That actually makes sense. So in this case, it's like the things are doing the creeping. Okay, so that actually makes sense, more like things that are creeped. So in this case, we will use the ing form, and then we will continue to number 8. Perhaps one of the most useful, we have taken for granted or taken for granting. Okay, as I told you before, taken for granting. Uh, Actually, there is, I I don't think you can use it in any context, so you can discard this taken for granted if you see it in any question. So it will, in this case, it will be taken for granted. Usually go for taken for granted and not taken for granted. Then finally, the last one, the amount of gravitational potential energy, and we have storing or stored in an object dependent upon the amount of mass the object possessed, and blah 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 blah. In this case, we don't. Well, the energy is not doing actually storing; it's actually being stored. So we will go with the I, I, with the ed form. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. If you don't have any questions, we will continue. Remember that you can stop me at any time if you don't understand something. Okay. And well, this next part is about adjectives and adverbs. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to distinguish between these two. Remember that adjectives are the ones that are modifying in some way a noun. By noun, I refer to something like accident or a pronoun such as he, it, and so on. But they only modify nouns and pronouns. Okay, then we have the adverbs that usually describe a way in which the action is being done. For example, in example number one, we have it was a careless accident. Okay, we know well, the careless is the adjective and it's modifying accident. Okay, saying something about the accident. If we say it like it was a carelessly accident, well, first it cannot be after the, well, usually not, unless you have a verb. No, not actually not. Well, after an article, you don't usually encounter an adverb first. Then this adverb will be modifying a was, okay? So was in this case it is the verb to be. So you could say like uh, it was existing carelessly. That doesn't make any sense. So be careful with that. And remember that adjectives for nouns and pronouns and adverbs for verbs. And that's all. Okay? You usually will find some sort of questions that will test this knowledge. Okay, emotionally stable people seem to have about the same number of nightmares as highly, and we have anxious or anxiously, well, in this case we have anxiously, sorry, individuals. Okay, because we know these anxiously is actually modifying individuals, we know that that's the one that is incorrect. That it has to be an adjective, in adjective form. Okay, instead of anxiously, we only write anxious. Okay, again, with the exception of the words in the topic 36 that we have already seen so far, adjectives and adverbs are usually modified by words ending in L-Y. Okay, for example, it was a carelessly planned accident. Okay, we have planned as a, well, it was a carelessly planned accident. Okay, pay attention to what is modifying. I, I think Martin. I, all right. Pay attention to what is modifying the adverb. Okay, in this case the adverb, the adjective, it's planned, and it can be modified in this case uh, by well, an adverb. Usually you will find it like this when the adjective is actually a verb that is working as an adjective. Okay, notice that plan in this case is well, plant is actually a, well, it can be a noun and it can be a a verb. But in this case, it is derived from the verb form. Okay. And the second one, he does his homework carelessly. Okay, he's doing his homework in this way. Again, you will find this type of question, or not question, more like you will the TOEFL uh, test will evaluate this knowledge present in drugs of all types. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Hematite is particular, and we have a particular abundant in the sedimentary rocks known as red beds. Okay, so we have abundant that in this case it will be like it is actually modifying this abundant and not the verb as we have seen above. Okay, any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No? Okay, give me one moment. But if you don't have any questions, uh, well, if you want to practice, then you can go to the. Give me one moment because I don't remember where are topics. Uh, yeah. You can go to the topic number 22, adjectives before nouns, and you will find there some well, a few explanations about uh, this type of adjectives to practice. I'm sure that we have already done. We have seen that one before. That's the following one. Okay, so the next one is adjectives before nouns. Again, a topic that you are probably already familiar with. And although you can have a combinations of nouns in English, for example, olive oil, that's one can be one example of two nouns together that actually is correct. It is rare to see them in English, at least in English. In the TOEFL, in the TOEFL, at least in the grammar test from the Longman book. Remember that there are several books that you can buy to practice for the TOEFL test. One of these is the Longman book. So if you want an easy to remember rule, you can say it like if I see two nouns, then it is probably incorrect. For example, well, the rule says two nouns together may be wrong in the TOEFL. Okay. However, this rule may or not apply to the CELI. Okay. I'm not sure how the CELI is. Well, how the CELI is. Actually, I haven't seen it before, so I can just try to guess. However, this rule may well, I already read it. Here is a much better rule. And if a noun modifies another noun, and you can change it into well, to an adjective, for example, we have the example below. The noun should probably be an adjective and not a noun. Okay. For example, we have is a chemical called a capsaicin or capsaicin, I'm not sure, that gives hot peppers their spice flavor. Okay, you already know that spice is well, in Spanish it will be like a condimento and flavor sabor, and both are working as nouns in that particular sentence. Okay, however, you can make spice, well, spice actually has an adjective form that it will be spicy because this noun has an adjective form. You can guess that spice in the example above is wrong. Okay, for example, Uh, it is a chemical called that gives hot peppers their spicy flavor. Okay? Any questions so far? No? All right. Now what you will have to do is to answer this small exercise, exercise A in page 235, and I will give you 5 minutes to do so, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, I'm I'm back. Sorry. Uh, have you finished? All right. These ones I would like you to answer. Okay. So, Arturo, can you answer number one? All you have to do, what you have to do is to choose the correct option. Okay, to complete these sentences. Okay, be careful with that. Okay, we know that in this case, as yeah, very good. It's pleasantly okay. Uh, but yeah, don't get confused. If you see a verb with ed after, because even though it is working as well as an adjective, usually will require to be modified by an adverb. Okay, so be careful with that. Carlos Alberto, can you answer number two?
Yeah, I put frequently.
Yeah, very good. Frequently is the correct answer for number two. Daniel, can you answer number three?
I put expensive.
Yeah, perfect. Expensive was correct. Ah, sorry. Ivanova, can you answer number four? Okay, I think Ivanova is not here. So, Karina, can you answer the next one, number four?
Special?
Special?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. In this case, is special. Okay. Very good. Kevin, can you answer number five?
Yes, completely.
Yeah. Perfect. The car was not completely ready at uh, 3 hours. Okay. Very good. Martin, can you answer the next one, number six?
Was a true?
Was a true story. Very good. Uh, Diego Eduardo, can you answer number eight? Complete. Yeah, very good. Complete. Terrible. Perfect. Very good. Thank you. think I skipped number seven, so I will answer that one. Points will be subtracted for each incorrectly answered question. Okay. All right. Ulises, can you answer number nine?
Quick.
Quick. Okay. In this case, it will be quickly. Okay. Notice that the children finish their homework, and if you say quick, but in this case you cannot use quick because usually quick, well, the adjectives tend to be at the left in English. Okay, so you know that it's not modifying the noun. So by just that rule, you pick quickly. and you assume that quickly is modifying finish and not homework. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. All right. Then, if you don't have any questions, then we will continue to the next part. And we had already answered this part, so we're going to skip it. I think you may remember that we did this countable and uncountable nouns. So we're going to skip this whole thing because we have already answered that particular part, and we're going to do this word order in a sentence. Okay. Uh, well, this topic is usually difficult for some students for some reason. For example, let's take a look at the sentence. On nights when is the sky clear and the air calm, the Earth's surface is rapidly surface rapidly radiates heat into the atmosphere. Okay. When you were learning English, you learned that you need to change the word order to make questions. Okay. For example, the sky is clear, and when the sky clear. Okay, how this is correct. However, this change in word order only applies to questions, not statements. Okay, and I also think you do it with negative words at the beginning of the sentence. You change the to the well, question like order. Okay, but usually you will have to but the order will be subject verb object. Okay, you usually don't get much well, opportunity to play around this order because English is really reliant of the word order to make sense. Okay, so be careful with that. This topic again is really simple, but sometimes you can get confused. Okay, and notice that there is no question mark at the end of the sentence from the diagnostic test. In this part, the night sky. So this means it's not a question. Therefore, the order should not be inverted. Okay, and it should be something like this: on nights when the sky is, instead of on nights uh, when is the sky. Okay, so be careful with that. Uh, you probably associate the inverted order with the WH words such as why, what, how, which, how, and when, who and when, sorry. However, if they are not used in a question or are part of an indirect question, the order must not be inverted. Okay? What you will have to do now is to answer this exercise A. What you will have to do is read the sentence below, circle the correct word or order for each sentence. Remember that only in direct questions we place the verb before the subject. Okay? For example, number one, the teacher told us how much sea level is rising. Okay, that one is the correct answer. And because it is not a question, you cannot say the teacher told us how much is the sea rising. Okay, so be careful with that. Even though we have this how much. Okay, and number two, how much is the sea level rising? We have the question mark at the end, so we know it's a question. So we invert the order. Okay. Any questions so far? You will have again 5 minutes. This particular exercise is not that complicated. So 5 minutes to answer it, and then we will continue. Okay, have you finished?
No, teacher.
Not yet. How many number do you need to answer? Do you still need to answer? Okay, I will give you 3 more minutes and then we will check it. All right, we're going to start to check it now. So, Arturo, can you answer number 3? Arturo is not here, so Carlos Alberto, number
Yeah,
3.
the article is about what President Trump wants to do about the opioid crisis.
Crisis, very good. Perfect. Daniel, can you answer the next one? Number 4. All right. I'm not sure if Ivanova and Gabriel can answer. So,
I'm here,
okay.
teacher.
Okay, can you answer number 4, Gabriel?
Yes.
What does President Trump want to do about the opioid crisis?
Which is very good. Pay attention that we have the question mark, so we invert the order. Perfect. Karina, can you answer number 5?
Yes. Um, five.
Yeah, 5.
The teacher told us where should we live for first exam.
Okay, be careful. We have the double H well question word, but because we don't have the question mark, we need to use we should live instead of should we live. Okay, so just be careful with that. Perfect. All right, Kevin, can you answer the next one, number 6?
Yes. I cannot understand this question. How many times is Earth's gravity more than Moon's?
Yeah, perfect. You have the question mark, so you invert the order. Perfect. Martin, can you answer number 7?
She starts crying. When did Yuri ask her why she asked?
Why? What she asked. Okay, perfect. Very good. You don't invert any order because there is no well question. Perfect. Uh, Diego Eduardo, can you answer number 8? Yeah, perfect. We have the question and you invert the order. Perfect. Ulises, can you answer number 9?
Can you repeat, teacher?
Can you answer number well number 9?
Ah, sí. OXCOOE5201 error code occurs when you try to create an .msp file by using msmc.x in Windows 7.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I want to try to do that. Perfect. Thank you, Ulises. Arturo, can you answer number 10? Here. So, because we don't have much time left, I will answer. No. Ah, perfect.
Mande. Sí, pero todavía estoy en clases.
Okay. Sorry. Students explain. Very good. Thank you, Arturo. Carlos Alberto, can you answer number 11?
Yeah, I put do students need.
The students need. Yeah, perfect. Uh, Again, question, invert order. Okay, perfect. Daniel, do you have number 12?
Yes, I put it was and the dinosaurs were.
The dinosaurs were. Okay, in this case, pay attention that we have a question mark at the end. So you have to invert the order of the first verb. In this case, was it? And the second one, the when the dinosaurs were, you don't have to invert anything. So that one is correct. The first one is was it? Okay, so just be careful with that. Uh, okay, Ivanova, can you answer number 13? think I didn't hear you. In this case, we have. I want to know what happened when we have a prisoner escapes and those a prisoner escape because we don't. Yeah, I couldn't hear you. So you can write it in the chat. See if you there is an issue with the microphone. Perfect. Very good. Thank you, Manuel. The last two are well. The answers are uh, when does a sea turtle nest? Okay, we have the question mark. We well in this case we don't invert the order, but we add the verb the auxiliary verb does at the start of the we invert the order. Well, we add the auxiliary instead of inverting the order. And then we have in number 15, how is crude oil removed from the ground? Again, we invert the order, and because it is a question. Okay, I don't think you had much at all with this topic so far. Okay, so for the next class, I want you to um, well actually to do well, a little homework. Uh, these parts I'm not going to check it in class because we don't have much time left. But I want you to well, not to practice, but to be aware that this stuff will well, can appear in your silly exam. Okay, but you will have to do this homework will be from now until the well until the silly well, test. So, well, I want you to well, to do it if you need to. If you don't consider that you need to do this review, then well, then don't do it. But uh, but remember that you will have to include not answered if you don't well, think if you don't need to answer these particular well, exercises, but try to read from the listening part, uh, number one until number 31, okay? You don't have to answer the exercises that are like this. For example, you have this, you have the explanation, and you have well this exercise. Afterwards, you have these listen and answer questions. You don't have to answer those. Actually, most of the pages are filled with these exercises, and we're going to do this practice during the next week. Okay, so all you have to do is to read the topics if you think that it is important for you, but that you need to review these topics. If you don't know the vocabulary or, uh, well, usually the vocabulary, okay? So be careful with, well, try to read if you need, if you need to review all these parts. It is about it has already the explanation there, so you don't need, well, you don't actually need me to help you with that because it is mostly reviewing the vocabulary. Okay, so any questions so far? If not, I'm going to end the call right now and come back really quickly to take the attendance. Okay, we are. Okay. Anaya Morales Martín Eduardo.
Here, teacher.
Perfect. Callejas Paz Gabriel.
Here, teacher.
Carlos Alberto Chávez Salinas. Yeah, you're here. So, okay. Ramiro is doing something about the both related to the connects, so that's okay. Maricruz didn't say anything. Lozada Granados Karina.
Here.
Orozco Arredondo Daniel.
Here.
Here. Ponce Guerrero Kevin.
Here.
Perfect. Ramos Juárez Ulises Alejandra.
Here.
Okay. Ángel Nieves Diego Eduardo. Perfect. Rico López Fernando Ivanova. Okay. Rojo Moreno Gabriel. I think he was doing something about related to economy as well. Brenda, I think she was also at the economy. And Saucillo Castillo Arturo. Perfect. All right. If you don't have any questions so far, then that will be it for today. And I will see you on Friday. Okay?
See you.
See you. Take care. Bye. Take care.
Profe, cuando me volvió a meter, creo que ya me había dicho mi nombre, pero no sé.
Ya, sí te puse asistencia, sí te vi. No te
Ok.
preocupes.
Ok, gracias, profesor. Buena tarde.
Igualmente.